Our featured guests today are Indian River County Administrator John DeCantis Jr. and County Chair Susan Adams, who will present their updates on the state of Indian River County. I would prefer to take your questions after, but I'll leave it up to the speakers. I'd also like to take a moment and introduce John DeCantis Jr. We didn't all say his name this year, I will say that. That was last year, we were phonetically trying to put it together. John's been with the county now since April of 2023. Prior to joining Indian River County, he served as the Innovation and Performance Division Director at St. Lucie County, working out of the County Administrator's Office for 3 years. He also previously served with the City of Cocoa Beach, Florida for more than 18 years, most notably as the City Manager from February 2013 through March 2020. John is a member of the International City County Management Association, and he is a credentialed manager through ICMA. He also is a member of the Florida City County Management Association and Florida Association of County Managers. John has been also a member of the American Planning Association since 1999 and is a certified planner through the American Institute of Certified Planners. He was a member of the Florida Brownsfield Association since 2003 through 2015, of which he served as a member on the board of directors for 5 years and is a former president of that association. He was recognized in 2024 with the Public Service Excellence Award for the American Society of Public Administration Central Florida chapter. He was also recognized for several awards through the University of Central Florida in Public Administration. John is a veteran of the United States Army. He served in both the 3rd Ranger Battalion and the 75th Ranger Regiment, is a graduate of Ranger School, and is a life member of the U.S. Army Ranger Association. John is married to Deborah, and they have 2 elementary school children, son David and daughter Charlotte. Thank you, John. Thank you for your service, and it's all yours.
I always tell people to hold their applause because you might be setting the expectations too high. So I want to thank you, Dory, for that very warm welcome. Very much appreciate it. Glad to be here today. I want to thank all the members of Indian River Chamber of Commerce for the opportunity to present the state of the county. I would also like to thank our county commission. On behalf of staff and administration, we appreciate your leadership, direction, and support. And I would like to take a moment. I know we recognized Nancy and Mike. I would also like to recognize Kathy Copeland, our Legislative Affairs and Communications Director, and she's running around out there somewhere. She's been instrumental in helping this event and many other successes this past year. We would like to take time to thank, I see Representative Brackett, Senator Grawl. We certainly appreciate your leadership and the advocacy in Tallahassee on behalf of the community. Again, appreciated and valued. Thank you. So this year you may have heard, the county's been doing some strategic planning. We recently adopted our core values, mission, we've got goals. But one of our core values is collaboration. And that's working together cooperatively, united in our purpose to serve the community. Well, let me tell you, developing a budget focused on meeting the needs of the community exemplifies the collaborative manner in which our fiscal year 2024-2025 budget was formulated. And to that end, we would like to recognize and thank each of our constitutional officers for their efforts and in helping us develop the budget. So budget, this one's talk real quick here. Well, I'll try to be quick. So this year's budget was developed with an emphasis on customer service, investing in our employees, training and development, continuing to invest in the organization, ensuring we maintain and enhance the delivery of core services, as well as investing or addressing infrastructural and capital needs. Employee retention, recruitment and compensation is vitally important to the county. We have position vacancies that continue to challenge county operations. Implementing our employee compensation and classification study is a priority to ensure the county is competitive both in terms of compensation and benefits, and not just locally, but within the Treasure Coast region and immediately outside the region. Believe it or not, Martin County, Palm Beach County, they like to take some of our people, and this past year we've been successful in taking some of theirs. We like that. But it does represent not just an investment in our employees, it represents an investment in our organization. And the proposed budget does, fund the implementation of our compensation study. This past year, you may remember, we implemented a reorganization, creating the Community Services and Natural Resource Departments, and we added an Assistant Community County Administrator over Infrastructure Development Services, which you met, Nancy Bunn. And then also we hired, we're very fortunate, Amber Revere, our County Administration Ombudsman, of which I am pleased, again, all these executive and senior level positions have been filled, and we are moving along. So I would say that it's been helpful that they're on board. The proposed budget calls for the creation of a Building and Facility Services Department. And this department will include the functions of building and permitting, fire prevention, facilities management, and capital projects. The intent is to integrate and promote greater collaboration in the building and fire prevention review and inspection process. If you were to hear the horror stories of the 21st Amendment distillery, you would know why we want to integrate and collaborate between those functions. So it also, to better manage our plan review and inspection process, the budget includes both a chief plans examiner and chief building inspector. Internally, there's a need to better manage our facilities and assets. So along with dedicated staff, we'll to be managing our county's capital projects. Something I believe that's important to this group and to the chamber, we are creating an economic development specialist position. The county will continue its relationship with the chamber because the chamber serves as our formal economic development organization. The county is actively soliciting a consulting firm to undertake an economic development strategic action plan. And this new position, in addition to performing traditional economic development functions in collaboration with the chamber, will also be responsible to coordinate and implement the plan. The county has undertaken several critical plans and studies, evaluating our comprehensive plan, analyzing our urban services boundary, assessing our impact fees, evaluating our Parks and Recreation Master Plan, a Stormwater Master Plan, a vulnerability assessment, updating our manatee protection plan, updating our beach preservation plan, and adopting or planning for an integrated utility master's plan. Except for the integrated utilities master plan, all these plans are well underway. The kickoff for the utilities integrated master plan was just the other day. And they are expected to be completed during the first and second quarters of this upcoming fiscal year. It certainly has been a year of investing in and preparing for and planning for the future. And I should add that the board adopted the Indian River Lagoon Management Plan in September of this past year. Fire stations 15, 16, 17, and 18 are in various stages of planning. Fire station 11 a little bit slower than we want, but the renovations are underway. And the Station 7 is next in line, and we're pleased to report the purchase, or not the purchase, but a contract for purchase on property for Station 15 in the North County, and that will enhance our response times for Vero Lake Estates and the surrounding areas, as well as provide a better, work environment for the men and women that serve us in the Fire Rescue Department. In addition to evaluating our development processes through this past year, we've also, 650 of our employees have participated in online customer service training, and we're holding on-site, in-person customer service training for 200 of our public-facing employees, and working to add another day to get another 100 additional employees in that training. We've also hosted on-site training for about 80 employees, building highly effective teams for our supervisors, managers, and currently we have several members of our senior leadership team have attended and graduated or currently enrolled in the National Association of Counties and Professional Development of Counties High Performance Leadership Academy. And we will be having another group begin in September. So what a lot of people want to talk about, the budget. We can get right to it. You got the driving force behind it. The tax increase, the tax roll increase is 10.3% countywide. For the unincorporated area, it's 10%. The total proposed budget is $524.7 million, and while this represents a decrease from our amended budget, when compared to the originally adopted budget at the beginning of last year, it is increasing by 3.5% or $17.8 million. We like to compare ourselves to where we were just prior to the Great Recession. So since 2007, our budget has increased by $52.3 million, or 11%. To provide some context, we would like to compare it to the change in the change in the municipal cost index. And the reason why I like to use the municipal cost index, because that's more indicative and measures the costs and the expenditures a local government will spend and the increases. Obviously, we're more capital intensive. We have much more chemicals and fuel, petroleum things, more than the average consumer. So we use that, but we still do have the CPI there at 51.1%, but the increase in the municipal cost index is 59.18%. So I'd say we're doing really well in terms of not increasing at the same level as that of inflation as when you look at that. Public safety continues to be at the forefront of the county's allocation of resources. 28% of the total budget is dedicated to law enforcement and emergency services fire district. This figure does not include funds budgeted for 9/11, emergency management, and other public safety related funds. Increases are attributable to retirement expenses, insurance, supply chain and production delays still. You would be surprised how long it takes to order a ladder truck or have one come in. What used to take a year now takes 2 years. So we have actually front-loaded. If you were to look at our fire budget and say, man, there's a decrease, that's because we front-loaded and we ordered several in advance last year, so the capital expense went down this past year, for this upcoming year. We also see increasing annual Medicare costs for indigent care, and we are still experiencing the effects of inflation. The county has budgeted to implement the compensation study, as I mentioned, but we will also be adding 37 full-time positions to address operational needs. Lastly, the budget also includes approximately $1.8 million in debt service to support the voter-approved general obligation debt for acquiring environmentally sensitive lands. Here's another comparison just between 2006-07 and 24-25. Since 2007, the county has grown by over 24%, or by 32,519 residents. The number of full-time employees have increased by 46 with this new budget. We will now have 6 employees per 1,000 residents, compared to in 2005, the ratio of about 7.4 employees for every 1,000 residents. The University of Florida, their Bureau of Economic and Business Research, say that a couple times quick, we like to say just BEBR, their median population projection for 2030 is 184,400, and it's 199,200 for 2040. That's about the same amount of growth that happened between the 16 years from 2007 to 2023. They'll add about just under 32,000 residents. So that's important to note. Next year marks Indian River County's 100th centennial. To not roll up our sleeves and put in the hard work to protect our future would be a travesty for current and future Indian River County residents, families, and businesses. This is exactly why the county has been investing in various studies and plans. I assure you they will not remain on a shelf, they will be implemented. And more importantly, you know, when you're making decisions about the future of our county, they need to be informed decisions. So this data and this information will help our commission and our community make informed decisions about how we grow, and in terms of, because what we want to do, obviously, clearly, is to protect the majestic, the quaint, and the livable nature of our community. It's our quality of life. Everybody here, whether you've been here a year and a half, but we bought in June of 20, we found this community amazing. And we enjoy it, so we all want to protect it. And I think that's an overwhelming response and sentiment with all the public meetings. That's one of the things that we've increased, I think, substantially over this past year on everything that we do. We create opportunities for public engagement. And that's one of the overwhelming sentiments related to the urban services boundary discussion and related to the evaluation of our comprehensive plan. Protect our quality of life. Keep us quaint. We want to retain that small town feel. So challenges are important, and I think it's important that, equally that we understand and know those challenges that we face. One of the challenges are unfunded mandates. This pie chart depicts the mandates related to general fund expenses. A staggering 73% of our general fund expenses are mandate related. Think about that. 73% of your general fund expenses are mandate related. While arguably well-intentioned, programs and initiatives developed at the state and federal level, those unfunded represent a mandate that challenges our ability to fund community needs. Thus, the strategic allocation of resources becomes even more critical. For instance, the 2030 mandate requiring every property owner, on a septic system to connect to a central sewer or upgrade their septic system. Make no mistake, the importance of the impact to our environment and the health of the Indian River Lagoon cannot be understated. However, to address the more than 25,000 septic systems in the county comes with a great cost. It will impose a significant financial burden on our community without assistance for public infrastructure and for private costs, whether it's connecting to the central sewer or upgrading to a enhanced nutrient removal septic system. And I can tell you, having recently built a house, current day price of this is about $17,000. So for those that have a traditional conventional system, they'll be looking at, that's a pretty stout expense if central sewer is not available. It's one of the biggest challenges I think our county faces in the upcoming years. Another example, school resource officers. As a father of 2 school-aged children, I would like to report that my son is now starting middle school. That's our reaction too. No, just kidding. He's great. Although I will say he got an award, a presidential award, and I don't want to get too political here, but my son, when he saw who signed the letter, he was not too happy about it. I was like, and my daughter took great comfort in it, so I don't know what's going to happen when they are older. So let's get back to this the safety and security of our children in the schools. It's critically important and necessary function, and it was mandated by the state in the aftermath of the Parkland disaster, massacre, whatever you want to call it. It's unfortunate. However, that mandate came with no funding, so the school district and the county is the one that has to pick up the tab on that. So, I mean, that would be an item that I would love to see, because I know that the legislature does provide, what the school district can assess in terms of a millage rate. It would be nice to see if there was a special carve-out millage rate that's related to safety and security for our schools, because it's coming at the cost of maybe implementing other programs and needs in our community. So this next pie chart depicts on a more granular level the expenses related to the general fund overall. 65% of our expenses are related to state agencies and our constitutional offices. For every $100 of the general fund and expenses, $21.30 is dedicated to supporting county operations and services that are provided to residents and businesses. So I really like you to understand that, because our board understands it very well. $21.30 of every $100 of general fund expenses is dedicated or managed by the Board of County Commissioners. So you can see the challenges when it comes to meeting the demands of the community. So this year, I mentioned, we've been going through strategic planning. We have our mission, our values, our goals. We have goal teams that are working on developing objectives and strategies. And one of the things that we did is, because if you don't align your resources with your goals, if you say this is important, then you need to allocate resources to get that done. So for the proposed budget, any new budget request of more than $5,000 was required to demonstrate alignment with our strategic plan at the goal level. Moreover, all new requests were prioritized whether they were imperative, essential, important, or desired. Next year, our evaluation will drill down to the level of strategic objectives once adopted. I do have a disclaimer at the bottom, and there's 2 things I want to say. You see, infrastructure is the largest. Many times in infrastructure, we took the primary goal, but infrastructure would affect quality of life and environment. And this does not, the amount of new money spent towards the environment, $878,000, doesn't include the $24.8 million of bond proceeds that we'll have to acquire environmental lands. General fund millage comparison. I think this is maintaining the millage rate. It's 3.5475. This marks the 6th consecutive year the county's been able to do that. And according to the Florida Department of Revenue, this represents the 6th lowest general fund millage rate of all 67 counties. The 6th lowest general fund millage rate of all 67 counties. The taxable valuation increased from $26.5 billion to $29.3 billion, of which new construction accounted for approximately $665 million. According to Florida Tax Watch, the average total property tax millage rate for Indian River County, including all jurisdictions in the school district, for fiscal year 23 ranked 54th at 14.0775 mils, compared to the statewide average of 16.5408 mils. For growth in property tax levies from fiscal year 2008 to fiscal year 2023, Indian River County ranked 51st at 21.7%. So for the property tax levies for per $1,000 of personal income for fiscal year 2023, Indian River County ranked 51st, essentially $22.07 for every $1,000 of personal income. So the question I get asked most is millage rates, this, that, and this is my last slide. And all the preceding information I believe is important, and taxpayers need to understand how the county is managing their tax dollars, and more specifically, what are we spending them. The one question every taxpayer asks is, what does this budget and millage rate mean to me? The average assessed value of homesteaded properties in our county for as of June of 2024 is $356,128. When you apply the homestead exemption of $50,000, we have the assessed the taxable value of $306,128. So what does that mean? For homeowners in the unincorporated area, which comprise roughly 68% of our county, the total increase for the average homeowner is $92.70. So if your house is, for your taxable value is double that, double the $92. For those in the unincorporated areas other than Indian Shores, the county increase is roughly $81, and for Indian River Shores, it's just over $56. The county continues to be, and continues to commit to be, good stewards of your tax dollars and ensure they are spent appropriately, and I like to use the word strategically. I want to thank you, and I'm going to turn over the program to our chair, Susan Adam, for a year in review. But before I do that, I want to take 1 minute, real quick, not even a minute. I want to acknowledge and thank all of our county employees. At the end of the day, they are the ones that make it happen. Whether keeping our swales clear, repairing our roads, fixing or replacing bridges, responding to a fire or medical emergency, serving as an operator of one of our utility plants, assisting our veterans, or providing administrative support. They make it happen. And our county administration and senior leadership team would not be able to do what we're doing but for them. So I would like to thank our county employees. And with that, I would like to invite up Chairperson Adams for a year in review.
All right, so thank you guys for having me. I have to say, the last time I did a State of the County, it was COVID, so I got to do it via Zoom in the administrator's conference room, and we were, per the norm with Zoom back then, you only have your suit jacket on down here and below your pajamas. So this is really a much different scenario for me, but I appreciate you guys bearing with me. One of the things John talked about is this has been a year of planning, and I tell everybody, if you could plan it, we are trying to plan it. We are planning everything from manatees to the community to, you name it, economic development, we're doing it. And that's a great thing because the importance of that is these plans are going to serve as a basis for how we move forward. These plans, getting these plans right and having a plan is essential to the building blocks of what will come for Indian River County. So I appreciate my fellow commissioners involvement in those plans and their commitment to making them happen. It's been a long year. We've had a lot going on, but we've gotten through it. We've had some great discussions, and I really do enjoy working with this board. You know, sometimes we laugh, we might not agree on everything, but as soon as that gavel drops, we're back to joking around and having a good time. And you cannot say that in a lot of places. So I feel very lucky to work with them. You know, we've also talked a lot about our mission, values, and goals, and that's what's going to drive us moving forward. And that's really kind of the theme of what we have been doing this year. Who is Indian River County? What do we want to be? And I don't just mean from a governmental level. I mean from a community level. Reaching out to the community and finding out, getting that information back helps us make those decisions. So today I could talk about all the miles of roads that we've graded or the bridges that we've replaced, all that fun stuff, which by the way, 6 bridges we've replaced this year. But instead, we wanted to kind of take the opportunity to showcase who we are as Indian River County, what our culture is. We've talked a lot about culture and culture change. What does that mean? What does that look like? And where we're going. So we made a little video, and hopefully,
Whether you live, work, or are simply visiting Indian River County, you will find our communities are safe, welcoming, and hospitable. We have natural, cultural, educational, and technological amenities that make our quality of life the true hidden treasure in this breathtakingly beautiful part of the Treasure Coast. To protect that, Indian River County government places a high priority on the rich history and heritage of our unique 503 square mile county, which was established almost 100 years ago. As evidenced by our decision to work with our community partners to preserve and protect many of our historic landmarks. Skilled and responsive emergency services are vital for any community. Indian River County excels in obtaining talent with a heart for public service. 2 new engines and a new ladder truck have been added to the fleet, and the North County has a newly staffed rescue ambulance. Forward-thinking planning has led to the identification of 4 new sites for emergency service facilities, and consistent fiscal management is bringing ownership of these sites to fruition, including sites west of I-95. With over 50 major capital improvement projects in the 5-year plan, cross-departmental collaboration has resulted in additional valued amenities, such as the future historic walking trail and public open space planned for the old Dodger Pines golf course adjacent to the Jackie Robinson training facility. Collaboration leverages resources to increase efficiency for our citizens, illustrated by the addition of a 1.5-mile long segment of the Rails to Trails project east of the city of Fellsmere, near the pedestrian bridge that spans I-95 through the Sebastian Buffer Preserve and extending this popular greenway to the city limits. Beaches and dunes line approximately 22 miles of our eastern coastline, dynamic and seasonally fluctuating, vulnerable to weather events, including hurricanes like Ian and Nicole. Erosion of beaches are collaboratively managed with the Florida Department of Environmental Protection through state and county adopted beach preservation plans. Indian River County has 8 managed sectors. This year, the Sector 3 Dune Restoration Project was completed early and under budget, placing 225,000 cubic yards of sand and 725,000 native and salt-tolerant dune plants in this area, which was no small feat given construction must occur outside of the federally protected turtle nesting season. Beach park playgrounds are a family favorite, and 4 of our award-winning beaches, Golden Sands, Treasure Shores, Round Island Oceanside, and Helen Hansen Park, now have newly installed playground equipment. Stewardship of our natural resources and conservation lands will be a legacy for future generations in Indian River County. The voter-approved land acquisition bond will expand the approximately 31% of county lands categorized as conservation. The Board of County Commission appointed ELAP, or Environmental Land Acquisition Panel, is currently evaluating nominated properties for acquisition. Evaluation of properties and recommendations on how to allocate the first $25 million of the bonds will be before the Board of County Commissioners in the months to come. S&P Global Ratings assigned a municipal bond rating of AA+ to the Series 2024 bonds, highlighting the ingrained fiduciary responsibility exercised by Indian River County on behalf of the taxpayer. Opportunities like these are possible through sound fiscal management, and the county's Office of Management and Budget received the Distinguished Budget Presentation Award for the 33rd time this year, receiving special recognition for its strategic goals and strategies. The Indian River Lagoon is the environmental heart of the community, and the adopted Indian River Lagoon Plan includes projects designed to protect and improve the health of the lagoon, such as the continued focus on removal of derelict vessels, a more aggressive pursuit of septic-to-sewer conversions, and projects to reduce the nutrient loading captured in stormwater discharged to the lagoon. This plan is truly a cross-departmental collaborative effort. Because of these focused efforts, seagrasses are responding, and it is believed we are trending towards recovery in our portion of the lagoon. The Utilities Department completed the third phase of the Wabasso Septic to Sewer project, removing 31 homes from septic and connecting them to county infrastructure. Proactively seeking grant opportunities to offset costs to our residents, the county collaborated with the National Estuary Program to submit water quality grants, resulting in the award of dollars for 2 future projects proposed to collectively remove approximately 143 homes from septic, and 3 county beach parks have been converted from septic to sewer this year as well. The Oslo Water Treatment Plant also received renovation improvements, and the Blue Cypress Wastewater Treatment Facility was upgraded with SCADA and communication improvements. And in March of this year, Florida Department of Environmental Protection awarded the Blue Cypress facility with the 2023 Domestic Wastewater Plant Operations Excellence Award, highlighting the service excellence of our staff. A collaboration highlight is the public-private partnership with NoPetro, resulting in the groundbreaking of a $40 million renewable natural gas project, the second of its kind in Florida. In addition to the environmental benefits, this project will create a new and recurring revenue stream for the county. This innovative project collects landfill gas, cleans it, and converts it to a renewable natural gas pipeline that can fuel fleets while reducing the carbon footprint. Whether you call it affordable or workforce housing, increasing the inventory of homes affordable to the average working person is a challenge. But our Department of Planning and Development Services has met that challenge head-on and provided SHIP funding for 48 residents, 20 of which went toward home purchases. They also granted impact fee waivers for 23 affordable homes, saving the owners over $200,000 collectively, and through the leveraging of more than $300,000 in additional funding, Indian River County has been able to facilitate the construction of an affordable housing triplex for veterans, develop an accessory dwelling unit, and perform home repairs in partnership with our local nonprofits. Economic development is a pillar for providing a sustainable future, and the new Oslo Interchange will open opportunities to diversify our local economy. Collaborating with the business community, our school district, and our supported training programs, we will capitalize on the over 95% high school graduation rate, providing potential workforce talent. Funding for a county economic development specialist to bring expertise in-house is included in the fiscal year 2024-25 budget. This position will also be responsible for implementing the county's economic development strategy action plan once completed. Public engagement is reaching new heights in Indian River County, with staff proactively exercising every tool available to seek citizen input, whether through public engagement workshops at multiple locations and differing times, community surveys, or dedicated planning websites. We are committed to seeking out and listening to the voices of our residents. Joint county-city workshops have proven productive in identifying shared issues and future concerns while providing a forum to seek collaborative resolutions. Successfully managing state and federal unfunded mandates, along with the influx of residents entering Florida, will require continued communication and cooperation between our municipalities and the county. Speaking of intergovernmental cooperation, we are proud to be able to help our fellow government agencies and elected officials when we can. This year, Indian River County Public Works worked cooperatively with the City of Fellsmere and the Fellsmere Water Control District to recover from 13 inches of rain dropped during a late 2023 storm, bringing roads and canals back to good working order stretched well into the first quarter of 2024. The Utilities Department also extended a helping hand when the City of Vero Beach wastewater treatment plant experienced a disruption in service. By jumping into action and transporting the non-thickened wastewater residuals to our facility for further processing, we were able to demonstrate our values of integrity, responsiveness, and collaboration. It's this type of teamwork on behalf of the citizens of Indian River County that will drive efficiency, innovation, and customer service satisfaction for all taxpayers. County leadership, departmental realignments, changes in policies and procedures, the kickoff of a strategic plan, and the commission-adopted strategic goals will drive future budget and policy decisions. Citizen and stakeholder engagement, along with employee input, identified environment, governance, infrastructure, public safety, and quality of life as overarching goals. The mission of county government in Indian River County is service excellence, and the staff formulated and board approved core values reflect who we are collectively and individually: integrity, responsiveness, collaboration. We are IRC. We value our employees and are investing in their success and their future through education, reimbursement, training, and compensation alignments that will keep Indian River County competitive in the market. Our county staff is the front line in service delivery and customer satisfaction, and recruiting and retaining talent is vital in achieving that success. Our people and our leadership are pivotal components for creating a positive legacy in Indian River County. While the past year has brought many changes in culture, changes in mission, and changes in structure, we remain committed to our quality of life and the unique character that sets Indian River apart from other areas on the Treasure Coast. Because in Indian River County, we respect and honor our rich history, enjoy and protect our vibrant sunrises and beautiful sunsets, and are certain that with the dedication to our core values of integrity, responsiveness, and collaboration, and our mission of service excellence, our future is looking very bright.
Thank you. Thank you, Susan. Thank you, John, for a great presentation. I did ask John if he could ship that PowerPoint over to us, and I'll ask Susan if we can get the video. We'll put that up on our chamber website, so feel free to invite people to go check it out, or if you have some additional questions, the answers are probably provided in there. The chamber appreciates the great relationship that we have with Indian River County. We have two divisions of the Chamber, Economic Development and Tourism, that are funded through the county, and we have an opportunity to work with them and impress them every single day, and they have an opportunity to show us how that relationship is important to them. So we do enjoy working with all the county staff. Anyway, with that done, we're getting you out on time. Thank you for joining us today, and thanks again to both John and Susan for their participation. Again, it brings us great pleasure to be able to do this for you. Thank you to all of our event sponsors, and we'll be seeing you soon.